Hey, welcome back, or welcome to my video if you've never been here before. My name is Louise. It's been a minute since I've talked about writing, and that is because it's been a minute since I have written. If you don't know me and you haven't been following this channel, you don't know my journey, that's fine. I don't really know it either. I've been writing this one feature film. It's called Nikki and Nick, and I made a short film version of it, like a proof of concept short film. And this video is gonna be kind of about where I am with that script. So I basically have been documenting my process writing that for almost a year now on this channel, and I started writing a new project recently because it's not that I thought I was done with Nikki and Nick, but I definitely said on this channel that I was done with Nikki and Nick. I'm done. How many times have I sat here and said that I'm done with the script on YouTube? Like, I need to stop writing this script and just be done with it. What is done for a writer? This project has gone through me saying it's done like many times. Like, it's gone through many drafts. Like, I'll just say I finished my last draft. I think that's kind of how I've been phrasing it on the channel. I don't think I've ever said like I'm done and I'm not working on it anymore. But I've said like I've finished a draft. Like, it's been like one step at a time. I've been kind of embarrassed about it, to be honest, which doesn't really make sense, but I do feel like there's kind of this pressure. I don't want to say that there's this pressure on like author tube. I mean, I'm not an author, I'm a screenwriter. I mean, and writing a book is such like a different thing, but I think there's a pressure like in the screenwriting, writing, author world in general, this like pressure to finish your script like really fast and to be like, I finished, you know, my first draft in 6 months and my second draft in 3 months, and then I had a finished polished script like that. Like, I want to be able to say that. But unfortunately, I'm not a fast writer. Like, it takes me a really long time to come up with ideas. It takes me a long time to perfect a scene or to make a scene, like, readable. Like, it just takes me a long time. But I love it. I love writing. It's so fun. I, like, started this screenwriting journey for me because I wanted to, because I think it's fun. It's like an impossible thing to get a movie made or to make a movie. I also want to direct, if I haven't said that yet. Yeah, that's what I want to do, is direct and like make my own movies. It's like an impossible thing to like fund and direct your own movies. It's so hard. There's a chance that no one's even going to see your movie. Like, why even do it? And the reason is because I love it and I want to see my movie. Most recently, like this year in April, I finished a draft of this script that I've been working on for a very long time that I felt really happy with. In fact, I have it right here. I even got it printed. I love this script. I love this draft. It took me many years to get to a place where I felt confident printing it and happy about doing that, and I truly wrote this for me. I wrote this because it was fun and because I wanted to and because I wanted to prove to myself that I could write a really good movie, and that's what this draft is to me. I think I knew that, but I never really said it, or I wasn't like ready to admit that my end goal wasn't to write a script that I liked. Like this, if I had a ton of money and a great producer and some contacts in the basketball world, like I could go out and film this and I would be really happy with it and I would want other people to see it. However, that is not the reality we live in. I don't have any of those things, so I can't just go out and film this, but I really, really want to make this movie. How? I don't know. I feel like this whole year I've kind of been on this journey of like what do I want to do with this story, and what are the next steps for my script, and what are the next steps for me as a screenwriter. So the advice I've been getting a lot, the answer to I wrote a movie, what do I do next, is always write the next one. But like the past few months I've kind of been like, what are the actual next steps? Like, what do I do? Like, I felt very, I don't know, I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing, which I don't, and that's fine. Like, I'm an amateur. I'm not a professional at all. I've never done this before. This is my first time doing it, and it's totally fine to not really know what I'm doing and to be figuring it out along the way. And that's something that I have learned because I really want to be like, I am a professional and I know what I'm doing and I'm a filmmaker, but like, I'm figuring it out. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. But I love this story. Anyway, to catch you up a little bit, it's been about a month since I put down the script. I've taken like a big break. And in that time, I've had a couple of realizations. And I want to tell you how I got to this big one of this is not a professional script and I want it to be a professional script. and why that's important. I'll explain why. Well, I guess I kind of already explained why, which is that I don't have the money to just go out and film this. And even though I do want to direct it, I want it to be in a place where I can enter it in a contest or give it to a producer or give it to anyone who might be interested in reading it, and for them to totally get it and to feel like everything's super clear. For them to read it and feel like, oh, this is a professional script written by a professional screenwriter and I can totally trust her to direct this movie. And this script is not that. For the past month, I haven't been looking at the script. Haven't really been thinking about it. And I haven't really been inspired to write my new script either. And in this time, I've also been kind of like happy, but also really like calm about it. Like I used to have a lot of anxiety over this story. I've been writing it for a really long time. It's like kind of embarrassing how long I've been writing this, but I wrote the first draft in 2019, late 2019, like it was done in 2020, like the document says 2020. And then I put it away because I figured it was like a crazy dream to write a feature and it would never happen. Then I took it out again, like 2021-ish. I was going through a lot of like good stuff, but I needed like an outlet. I wrote another draft that I finished in 2022. So at that point I was like, I really need like to figure my career out because I hadn't like figured out really what I wanted to do. Once I had figured that out, I had this job where I worked for an agency and one of our clients was Nike. So I worked at a lot of basketball events, and I didn't mention this, but it's a basketball movie. I don't know if you can see the basketballs I drew on the script. Yeah, it's a basketball movie. So I went to this basketball game for work and I was like so inspired. I remember like going back to the hotel room, writing a scene that would happen toward the end of the movie in this like structure I hadn't thought of yet, like that didn't exist, but I like saw the scene so clearly. It didn't make it, like that structure didn't work out, but I feel like the feeling of it really inspired me to like go back to the script. I finished that draft in 2024. We filmed the short film in 2025. And then since filming the short film, I've been working really hard on getting this draft finished. And so that took about a year. And the reason why this draft felt so different from the other drafts was that I think in the other ones, I didn't really have the knowledge of basketball that I have now. I just really put a lot of time into learning this sport so that I could write a somewhat believable story about it. I wouldn't say I'm an expert or that I've written like amazing basketball scenes, but I will say I think it does make sense. I could have just stopped at this 2026 draft where I'm like, I went on this like very long journey to get to this place where I feel good about what I've written, but is anyone else going to like it? And I know that doesn't really matter. And I'm not talking about the characters or the story structure or like the dialogue, well, kind of the dialogue. I'm talking about, do I have a presentable script that I can give to professionals and they'll see it as a product, you know? Because I think that's really important. Like, I'm so happy I printed this and I have this for myself, but I want this to have a life and I want to direct it. I need to make it really, really good. So in this time that I've finished this draft, I've kind of gotten over a couple of these like insecurities and anxieties that I had about it because it's like my baby. Like, I love this script. Like, I put my freaking heart and soul into it. So I've always been really afraid of it getting stolen or somebody making a really similar movie or having a similar idea. I've never wanted to share it like with strangers or put it on the internet or submit it to a writing contest. I've never really shared it with anyone besides my friends. One of my friends is a professional screenwriter and he read it, but he gave me like overall notes. And it was before I finished this draft. He gave me notes that helped me get to this draft. And at that point, when I got those notes, it was like I was at a point where I was stuck, where I was like, I can't do anything else with this on my own. I need help. And he gave me great like direction at that point. I feel a lot less anxious about that. Like, this is my movie and no one else really wants to make anything like it or write anything like it. So like, I don't even care. Like, I shouldn't even be worried about it. Also, like, if somebody makes something similar, it's not going to be my movie, so whatever. And the biggest thing that helped me get over this anxiety actually was, well, making the short film, because now that's out there. It's going to film festivals. Like, I'm going to post the trailer. Like, so the idea of the movie, like, has my name on it and it's on the internet. Also, it's not that original of an idea. Like, it's a queer sports story, which has, like, been done. And yeah, on that note, Heated Rivalry being so successful at first, I was, like, very upset about it and I made a whole video about it, but now I'm like so happy because it's like there is an audience for queer sports films. It's the girls. My movie is nothing like Heated Rivalry at all. but I'm just so happy that like I don't have to be so insecure about this being stolen. I've just felt like so much less precious about it like recently. I guess it's having the space from it and not being so obsessed with it and just knowing that this isn't the only movie I'm ever gonna write, and like I can kind of separate myself from it and realize that it's like its own thing. I think I also realized it's not like a genius, brilliant piece of art. Like I thought it was so good, and now I'm kind of just like, it's like an okay movie. Like it's like a decent structure, like it has some good tension, good drama, some good dialogue, but it's not like a 10 out of 10 script. It's not like a life-changing, like mind-blowing, super deep story. Like it's just a cute little high school movie. As soon as I finished this, like right when I finished it, I was like, I can't look at this anymore. I've been looking at this for a year straight. It has to be done and it has to be perfect, and I'm done. I can't keep writing this. And if I get feedback on this that is bad and people want me to change a lot, I'm gonna crash out because I can't keep working on this. That's how I felt like a month ago when I finished the script. When I said I finished the script, when I said I hit that final deadline. Now, I don't feel like that anymore. I feel like I could continue to work on this, and I'm totally open to feedback. I was like on Reddit the other day because I've been wasting too much time on Reddit. Someone was reading the first 10 pages of scripts and giving people notes. Like she volunteered to do that. So I was like, heck it. I'm gonna send mine. So she read my script and she sent me great notes, and they were like line by line notes. Like, you can cut this, like this seems expositional, like this dialogue is too much. There were a lot of things that she liked about it too, which was really nice, but she did like not tear it apart, but she did go through it and really give in-depth notes, and they felt like very professional. Like she had a lot of notes about like how some of the scenes didn't feel very clear, like what was going on in the action, and she like put a little caveat of like, oh, if you're directing this, then like it's fine, like you know what it means. But it got me thinking, like, yes, I do want to direct it, but I need it to be clear for someone who's reading it, who's not familiar with the characters and not familiar with the setting. Like, I want it to be very clear. But her notes were so good, even though it was only the first 10 pages, that it made me realize I could implement, like, I could already start to see the changes that I could make throughout the script just from the style of the notes that she was giving on the first 10 pages, because it was like, it's like similar things that I've done throughout the script. Like, just for example, I love writing dialogue, so I think I went really skimpy on the action throughout the script so I could have more room for dialogue, so I didn't want it to be a really high page count. Like, I wanted it to be pretty short script. With all the dialogue, it runs pretty long, so I was like trying to like cut down on action, and that made it like some things aren't clear, like it needs more action lines. And that's something that I think I can just work on generally. And I knew that. A lot of her notes were stuff that I knew, I just wasn't sure. So I kind of was like, oh, maybe I can get away with some of these like things that I know aren't that strong. And now I'm like, I don't want to make excuses. I do want it to be really, really good and as close to perfect as possible. So I got some changes to make. What I need to do next is I think I need to set some goals for a new draft. Page count, how long I want to spend on it, when I want to finish it. You know, those last two things were the same thing, but I want to get more feedback and more notes from a professional. I want to get as much feedback and notes as possible, and I feel like I'm in a really good mental space now to be able to get those. Yeah, when I write this new draft, I think I need to think of it in a very like kill my darlings mindset. Like, I think a lot of the stuff I loved about it that was just for me needs to go, and it just needs to be like a really clean, really strong story. RIP to a lot of my jokes, but it's fine. I already know that a lot of them are stupid. But the first thing I need to do before all this is I need to read screenplays. Some that I'm already thinking about reading that I think will help a lot are the screenplay to Superbad, Good Will Hunting, White Men Can't Jump, The Edge of 17, which is called Besties, which I've already read a million times, but I've already read all these screenplays, but I need to read them again. Why is the only thing coming to my mind Hitch? Oh, that's fine. I love Will Smith. Good morning. It's been quite a while since I filmed at my desk. I just signed up for a Pilates class and it's in a half hour. Saturday, it's 9:30. Life is good. Literally the only problem I have is deciding where I'm gonna get coffee after. I started reading the script to Superbad last night, and at a certain point, I feel like I wasn't paying attention to the like screenwriting format, and I was just like enjoying reading the story because I love that movie. It's kind of crazy to me. I mean, I know they improvised a lot, but it's like crazy how much they didn't. Like, it's crazy how much of the jokes were in the script. I don't really think my script is as funny as Superbad, but that's okay. It's not really supposed to be a comedy, so it's fine. But I wish it was. I love it. I had so much fun reading it. I need to finish it, but I also need to like actually pay attention to the dialogue and the style, that formatting and stuff like that. I already know like what stuff I'm gonna cut from my script. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's like such a beautiful, perfect day, and I'm so in the mood to write, and I signed up for a Pilates class, but it's fine. I need a freaking workout, so it's gonna be good. And then when I come back, I'll get in a little bit of writing time. Hello, it's Monday. Another chaotic work week, but like whatever, it's fine. Me and James planned our vacation to Greece this weekend, and we're going to Athens, of course, and we're going to Milos. And I'm so excited. Like, is my life even real? Like, we're going to freaking Milos, Greece. I actually was pretty productive this weekend, and I went through my whole little manuscript. That's not what it's called, but I love calling it that. I went through my whole screenplay here, and getting back into it, I was like, it kind of is bad. Like, it's not as good as I remembered it being, and I think that's like fair. I feel like that happens a lot to people. I'm kind of embarrassed about it, like, because I thought it was so good, and I still love it. I'm not like giving up on it or anything, but it's just like, it's not a finished story by any means. It's not like a final draft. And I don't know, I just felt like, I wish I hadn't sent it to so many people and been like, it's done. And they were like, it's amazing. I wish everybody had been like, girl, it's not done. Like, are you good? I mean, there are parts of it that I love. And I'm not saying I'm a terrible writer, but I am saying the script is not great. Like, it needs work. I don't think it's wrong to say that I'm not a great writer yet, but I could be. I think that's okay to say. I don't know if you can see this from where you're sitting from the camera, but I just like went through and crossed out full pages, like crossed out full conversations of dialogue. Almost every single page I had something that I was like, this is too much, this doesn't make sense, this needs to go. And just like ways I can make the blocking more clear, places I can do that, every single page. But here I found a page where I had written, what is the purpose of this scene? And then I wrote like, this is the purpose of this scene. And I think I just need to be like, okay, these are the beats I need to hit in the scene, and this is the purpose of it. Like, I need to write that out and then rewrite the scene. I found that happening for like 2 scenes I definitely want to rewrite, and then 2 other ones that I'm like 2 scenes I definitely want to rewrite that I understand what they need to do, and 2 other scenes that I'm like, I don't really know the purpose of these scenes, and I need to think about the overall story a little bit more before I can rewrite them. And I don't think, like, and I am a little insecure about doing another rewrite of this because I'm like, at some point it just has to be done. Like, it's a rom-com, it's a teen movie. I don't need to like take it so seriously that I'm like endlessly rewriting it. But I really enjoy working on this. I do want to be working on other projects, and I'm gonna try my best to give equal time to both of them. But like, I love this story so much and I care about it so much that I want to do everything I can to make it really good. And I've said this before. And I also feel like this is me learning. Like, it's a good way to learn. If I'm gonna write something new, it's just gonna be at the same level as this. Like, I'm not going to improve unless I really understand what it's like to do multiple drafts. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like just being like, oh, write something new and drop this isn't gonna like magically solve all of my issues as a writer. Like, I feel like the only way to get better at writing is rewriting. I also feel like I shouldn't be having to justify any of this to myself. Like, no one is at my door begging for this story. No one's trying to make it into a movie. And the more work I put into it, the more I'm gonna like want to see it as a movie. So like, I'm gonna work harder to make this happen. There's no reason for me to stop. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. At least I tried. Either way, screenplays are just such like a different creative beast, I guess, than anything else. I feel like, I don't know, because I've never written a book or a comic book or a video game, but I feel like a screenplay is such a specific thing where every line has to like have an impact. It's really hard, and everything has to work together in such a way that's possible to translate to the screen that it's not easy, but it is really fun. And I really want to get good at this medium, and I don't think it's an easy thing to do. If it's gonna take more time than I think it is, that's totally fine. Will I come up with new ideas and hopefully start more projects? I sure freaking hope so. But is this one always going to be the most important to me? Probably not. But at this moment, it is really important to me, and I'm not giving up on it. Yeah, I feel like I'm just trying to be realistic with myself about what I actually can write before I need to get this to someone else for more feedback again. And I have had a couple of, not many, but just a couple of things where I'm like, this I'm not sure about and need to ask someone. Especially like as we get to the end, I'm like, I don't know if some of these landed. I don't know if like some things about the climax and like the whole third act like craziness, I don't know if it's like really working, and I have some doubts. So I probably will need to talk through that with someone. But otherwise, it's my baby and I love it, and we're back together after a break and it feels really great. And we're gonna be stronger than ever. Haven't seen you at my desk in a minute. I just spent who knows how long, maybe like an hour or two, going through everything in this draft that I made notes by hand, cutting, you know, everything I cut out basically, and cutting it all out of this draft. I had a lot of other notes. There's just a lot more work I have to do as I work through this draft, but I think the big chop of cutting everything that I cut was really, really great. It was a really good starting point for this new draft that I feel really good about, and I feel like it will be done a lot quicker than I think. One thing I was really nervous about when I started slashing was that it wouldn't have like my voice, I guess. Not my voice, but like the main character's voice wouldn't be as strong, like it wouldn't be as quirky, because I was cutting a lot of his like jokes and a lot of like weird little things that he said because they were like not really adding to the plot, but they were building his character so much. So I was kind of nervous about cutting like a lot of that. And there's like one line that's like so inconsequential and so does not need to be there that I was like, ugh. That was the only one that really hurt. The other ones, I think it was okay. I think it would have to be something that somebody really tough would have to give me notes on the script, and I would have to ask them, do you feel like the main character is funny and silly and like a goofy goofball guy enough through the dialogue, or did I cut too much? Like, I think that would be a question for a reader, not for me. I think it's okay. The line that I cut that hurt was Nikki, main character Nikki, talking to Gianna, like a side character. He says to her, he's like trying to get her to come over to his house, and he's like, oh, my grandma's not here, she's at the gym. And the girl's like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, she lifts, what about it? It's like he's not realizing that she's like really mad at him and is definitely not coming to his house, which she's also like displayed before that. So I cut that line because it just felt like stupid and pointless. It's just things like that I'm like, maybe I just gotta sleep on it, I don't know. But yeah, I ended up changing quite a bit of stuff other than just cutting stuff out, which felt really good, and it makes me feel like, okay, I'm seeing this in a more objective light. The changes I'm going to make are going to make it so much better. All that time I spent spiraling over this script could have been better used, I think. Like, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I did in the past. All that matters is now I'm going to make this a lot better. And if I feel like frustrated or like I'm hitting a wall or I don't know what to do, the answer is to take a break and work on something else. And then come back to it in like 2 weeks. I think that's good. I think that's good advice. If you feel like you don't know what you're doing in your writing and you're getting really frustrated, take a 2-week break. That's my advice. Coming from an amateur who doesn't really know what she's doing, but that's my advice. So I'm sure you're wondering, how many pages did I cut out? It's a little over 93 pages now, and it was 108. I can't count, but I think that's 15 pages. 14 and a half pages. A little over 14. Okay, it's basically 15 pages because it's like literally 2 lines of dialogue and 2 lines of action on the last page. Like, it is significantly shorter. I'm gonna add more pages when I take the rest of my notes I have made for myself. I will be adding more pages for sure. You know what? I think I will actually end up taking out more pages. I mean, we'll see. Feel free to leave your guesses of how long this thing's gonna end up being in the next draft, but there was only one scene, which is like the huge scene. It's like the final scene before all hell breaks loose and we get into the final act. Yeah, that scene, I cut a lot of it. That scene, I cut a lot of it, and I cut stuff that had been there since the first draft. I cut stuff that I was like, I know that this is really long and ridiculous, but I love it, so I'm keeping it. And I was like, it's time. Like, it's time. So I cut a lot of that scene, but I left kind of all of the latest stuff I wrote, like stuff that wasn't in here. Maybe it's a page, maybe it's 2 pages, I don't know, it could be 3 pages, but I had written like a lot of other stuff that I think definitely needs to go because it's just like me trying to figure out what's going on with one of the characters. It's just like a lot of random dialogue. The biggest problem though that I found with this draft, revisiting it now after a couple weeks, is that my characters say what they are feeling so often and so articulately. They are so in touch with their feelings, and I'm like, what? I need them to say a certain amount of things, but I need to find a better way to do that. I have an idea of how I can fix this problem, but I cannot believe that I have this problem after writing this for so long. How did I just think that was okay? It's okay. It's fine. We're gonna move on. We know it now. So it's all fine. We've grown and learned, and now we're gonna write a much better draft. Me crashing out in real time. I am really, really excited about this new draft, and I think it's gonna be so much better and cleaner, and I'm already writing dialogue that I like so much more. Like, the ending, I had Nick. So it's Nikki and Nick. You know, you've been here. Nikki, main character, Nick, his love interest. I had Nick do this, like, big moment, this little speech, like, and I was like, that's, as I'm reading, I'm like, this is not realistic for anyone to say, period, and this is just not Nick. Like, this is not the character that I made. I was like, he wouldn't say any of this. I rewrote it and I like it so much better. I'm happy with how his voice is coming out now that I was like, look, you know this character, just have him be himself. And it's also less goofy, it's less cheesy, and it's less dialogue, so it's taking up less space on the page. Like, it's nothing crazy. I didn't change it that much, but it's just so much better. I just love this character. Things are going very well in the writing world. Who would have thought sitting in this chair and taking out this keyboard would be such a wonderful experience, but it was. It's aesthetic. Oh, about the move?
My girlfriend yelling at me on YouTube.
Yeah. People love it.
Yeah, put him in his place.
Tell us about these wings. What do you think? Tell us about these bows. Ramen's not very photogenic.
I don't know what the magical
I just got back from the gym. I'm super sweaty, so I need to shower. I, need to get a freaking move on. I have a meeting at 11, and I have to go to FedEx, and I have to go into the office, so we are running late. Hold on a sec. Since I don't have time to do anything except shower, go to FedEx, and go to the office, and I have a ton of meetings all day, so I don't know how that's gonna work. I grabbed some cheesy bread, like Brazilian cheesy bread. It's called pão de queijo, and a matcha, but the matcha is, pretty bad, which I kind of expected it to be, but I had to try it. I just had to find out for myself. I'm being called on my work computer. I got something really, really fun in the mail. I'm so excited to show you this. If anyone wants one, let me know. It's a little sticker that I got printed for my film. I just made these like with this NYX logo generator. I really wanted to hire an artist to make stickers, but I couldn't find anyone, like an illustrator. I couldn't find anyone who could do it in time. Did find someone who hopefully is gonna come up with something for the next film fest, but for the first one, this is what I'm giving out. I realized I didn't put like an Instagram link or anything on them, but I still think they're really, really cute. So what the heck is up? Today was such an annoying work day, but it's all over. Me and James are gonna have a little date night tonight. So we're gonna go in like 20 minutes, but I wanted to show you what I've been working on. Yesterday after work, I finally had a little bit of writing time. I think I might have said this in another clip, I don't know, but I realized that like a lot of the scenes had so much going on and they weren't doing exactly what they need to do for the story. I feel like in old vlogs I was focusing so much on character arcs, and it's like none of that really even came through in the way that I thought it did. Freaking Abby Emmons. She has this quote that's like, I'm a student of Abby Emmons. That is the first author tuber I ever watched. But she has this quote that's like, the plot is the fist and the character is the punch. The character arc, the character development. I don't know, but like it makes total sense. It makes total sense to me. When she says it, it makes sense. But yeah, I feel like the plot and character arc are not working together in a way I need them to. So that doesn't mean that I need to like rewrite the whole thing. It just means that I need to figure out what each scene, because I think I have all the right scenes. I think I have all the right beats. It's just the dialogue and like what's actually happening in the scene is like not there. It's like not working. Like it's not what it needs to be. So I went through with different colored Post-its. The color coding wasn't really that intentional. Like I just put Act 1 in blue, Act 2 in green, and I started working on Act 3 in orange, and then I'm gonna do Act 4 in purple because I wrote with this 4-act structure that I have on my wall where you cannot see it over here, but I'll show it to you. I love 4-act structure. It's really just 3-act structure, but the second, third act are just like there's another extra like set of beats where they could be split up, so it's 3, but I like thinking of it in terms of 4 acts. I feel like it's much easier for me to understand like the climax being its own separate act, like the climax and the wrap up. Like that just works for my brain so much better than like the climax being the end of the third act. I don't know. I made a Post-it for every like scene, every sequence with like what is this sequence doing? What do I need it to do? What is it establishing? Basically, I did this so I could see what I need to rewrite, like what stuff isn't working. And I already knew what I needed to rewrite, but I wanted to make sure there wasn't anything else that was like off. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't like miss anything when I went through it, because I went through it really fast. So this has been forcing me to take a little bit more time. And like, yeah, I just really need to make sure that every scene is doing exactly what I need it to do, and that I know exactly what I need each scene to do. And then from there, it will be much easier to be like, okay, well, this scene and the scene after are both doing exactly the same thing, so I can cut one, like that kind of stuff. You want some tea? It's hot. Is an all-white dress risky? Where should I put these? Everywhere. Did I get rejected from 3 more film festivals this month? Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah, of course it's okay. And one of them I was pretty okay with getting rejected from because it was the same weekend as another one that I got into. So I was like, that's all right. I truly don't have high hopes. Like getting into 2 is like, it's pretty good. So if I could get into 2 more, that'd be perfect. All right, I have sat here and yapped long enough. I'm going to maybe do a little bit more work on this. I don't know if doing this Post-it thing is really that productive. It's probably going to amount to nothing. There's probably no reason for me to be doing this, but I guess it's fun. And I also don't really have time to write right now, but I will tomorrow. So I'll check back in tomorrow. Tell me about this tzatziki. So I need to go to work now. I need to go to the office. I like probably should have left already, but like I don't want to go. I want to write. I've been thinking a lot about writing and storytelling and stuff like that, and I kind of realized that I have been thinking about screenwriting all wrong for a while, but like it's not that big a deal, and I think it was good. I think I had to like go through that to figure out the right way to do it. I like to have shows on in the background when I'm doing stuff, and I love Gilmore Girls and One Tree Hill, which I've talked about a lot, and I feel like I kind of, this is so silly, I write dialogue because it's like so in my brain, like especially Gilmore Girls, like the dialogue from that show is so like in my head that I feel like I end up writing dialogue in like a similar way. When you have a TV show, you can take a lot of time to get to know the characters, but I don't want to write a TV show, I want to write a feature film, and in that case you have to be very selective. You have to pick exactly the dialogue that you need. You can't be writing dialogue like crazy, which is what I was doing, I think. I just love writing dialogue, but it's fine. It is a good realization. I also feel like I have been thinking about things like, especially character arc and story structure in like a book way, which is not bad. I think it's a really good place to start when I was like plotting. And honestly, this draft, I'm happy that I wrote it thinking of it like, well, I didn't think of it like a book, but I feel like I got way more into character arc and structure than I got into like screenwriting and filmmaking type beats. Mostly use this character arc structure that I have here on the wall. I'll put a little picture of it. It's from Ellen Brock, and I mention her all the time because I loved understanding the story structure. It helped me so much writing this draft. But I think a lot of the character arc and character development that I've been studying and learning and kind of understanding has been from books, or has been like, I've been listening to advice meant for authors that write books, and that is fine. I think that's really good advice, and all of it was really, really helpful for me to understand character arc and story structure. However, I think now I need to kind of separate from that to write another draft that sees the characters as movie characters. I don't know, I feel like I do a lot of showing and not telling. Wait, the opposite of that. I feel like I do a lot of telling and not showing. I think from what I understand, in a book you have to strike like a balance of showing and telling, but in a screenplay, at least in the type that I want to make, like I think in a kid's movie you can get away with a little bit more, but in this like very indie like coming of age type movie I want to do, I don't even know if that's what it is, but I think I need to be a little bit more like, showing completely and like very, very little telling. I don't know what I'm saying. I feel like it makes more sense when I'm writing. Something I thought about before was about how I feel like I had to wrap up all the characters and all of the loose ends, and I feel like there might be some I don't actually need to wrap up, and I'm like, maybe just the important things need to be wrapped up. I don't know. I think I'll be able to write this new draft, and I'll be able to get some feedback on it that will help me figure out some of these things, but I'm thinking of it in a completely different way, which is exciting and fun, and I'm excited. The scenes that I've rewritten have felt so much better, but they haven't really been rewritten, just kind of like edited. It's felt so good. It's felt so much better. And the ones I have to rewrite, I'm very excited about. I think right now what I'm going to do is read the one that I want to rewrite again, even though I've read it like 50 times, and I'm going to start brainstorming it like while I'm on my way to work today, which I need to start getting a move on, so goodbye.